I guarantee you it's something to do with recruiting. And yeah, this is a good one.
Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers over the last couple of weeks have been trending downwards due to a couple of decommits. One from Tyler Lockhart and also Carday Smith as well. And like I said, people really started to panic because they thought the class that looked like it was really trending up started to trend down, and people were very confused. But over the past couple of days, things have been trending right back up for Auburn. They landed 2 more commits, but also getting some major news about a possible quarterback that could be coming over here to Auburn as well. A 5-star, a guy who could change everything, not only for this class, but for Auburn's future in recruiting as well. In this video, we're going to break it all down. So stay tuned. Let's get into the video. Now, before we deep dive into the 2 brand new commits, we're going to look at their film, and I'm going to tell you why exactly they're going to help bring a 5-star quarterback in Juju Lewis to Auburn. I did want to talk about the decommitments and why you guys should not be worried at all. Now, there's a bunch of rumors out there stating that if Auburn wanted to keep Carday Smith, they would have, and they could have, right? Now, I do think USC is really high on him, and they want to get him in their class as another, kind of tackle. But Auburn already landed a couple of really big-time tackles, with the guy like Broderick Shaw. They're interested in Andrew Babola, so they obviously have other guys in mind. And again, do not be worried about losing Carday Smith, because the recruit they got yesterday is a guy who could be even better in terms of ceiling-wise. So I would not be worried about Carday Smith at all. But when you do, go out of things and look at Tyler Lockhart, this is a guy I think kind of sucks, right? There's a lot of people in his corner that want him to go to Mississippi State because that's where he's from. He's from the Mississippi area, and he is a guy that is really talented. Now, I do not think that Auburn is going to give up on Tyler Lockhart, but this is more of a commit that I'd be a little bit nervous about. But at the end of the day, I think there are other targets out there. Elijah Melendez, who is very possibly, or very could come to Auburn. So I wouldn't be too nervous about it. But now with that out of the way, let's talk about the 2 brand new Auburn commits. Now, just yesterday, the Auburn Tigers got a really big time commitment that they are absolutely in love with, very high on their board. Jacoby Ward is someone who is going to step up and play in the interior of the offensive lineman over the next couple of seasons, obviously probably 2026, 2027. Gonna take him a little bit of time to develop, but this is a guy with all the potential in the world, and I wanted to break down some film and show you exactly why I believe this is a big time commit. Even though he's only a 3-star now, I think that it's subject to change going forward. Now, as you break down the Jacoby Ward film, you're gonna notice a couple of things: the strength, the power, the versatility, but also the quickness for his size. Guys, keep in mind, this guy is 6'4", 330 pounds right now, and with some college strength, conditioning work, he is going to get stronger, he's going to get quicker, he's going to get more elusive, and way more powerful with his legs. This dude is just getting started. On this first play, we're going to see him come across the formation and absolutely demoralize the man in front of him. Watch how it's going to happen very quickly here. I'll rewind it so you guys see it again, but the dude demolishes the dude. Watch how he comes across. You're going to see this guy come in. Boom, just nailed right to the ground. Happens very quickly. One thing I've noticed about Jacoby Ward, very instinctual, right? Very high IQ, is very good at opening up running room for a running back. So good for the running game. Again, boom, demoralizes that dude. Throws him onto the ground. The potential, the size, the speed, the athleticism, the pure strength and power is something that's jumped off the table in my eyes. And I guarantee you, as you watch this play here, you can kind of see which one he is on the floor, right? He is the monster of a human right here. Again, throws the man to the ground. Listen, don't get me wrong. I liked Carday Smith a ton. But when it comes to potential, I believe Jacoby Ward not only has really good potential, sky-high potential, maybe even potential NFL talent potential, but I also believe he is going to be a reason the Auburn Tigers are going to be more in the running for a guy like Juju Lewis. Now, I'll tell you why in a minute. Before we break down that, Let's also break down another Auburn commit who just recommitted to Auburn. Another big-time addition for Auburn was a big tight end. Let's talk about him. Now, before we dive into Hollis Davidson and what he means for the Auburn Tigers in the 2025 recruiting class, make sure you guys do me a massive favor. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. This is my brand new college football channel. My main one for the NFL has about 95,000. So I wanted to make a brand new one just because I love Auburn. I love college football. And I want to break down not only recruiting, but film review, film breakdown for actual game days. So make sure you guys join the family. It is free. It doesn't cost anything. And like I said, we're going to be covering Auburn through everything you need to know, from commitments to decommitments to National Signing Day to game day film review, everything you guys can think of. We've got you guys covered. Join the family if you haven't already done so. If you guys want a part 2 to this video where we break down more film of other Auburn Tiger commits, comment down below part 2. Let's get into the brand new recommit of Hollis Davidson. On July 4th, Auburn landed another recommitment from Hollis Davidson, a tight end who is a massive human being, right? 6'5", big frame, very quick, is kind of more of an outside receiver, but also can play traditional tight end, can do a bunch of different things at a high level, which is one reason I think this is going to be a great pickup here for the Auburn Tigers for the 2025 class. He was actually quoted saying, "Auburn is home for me. It's the best fit. It's where I can grow, where I can go to grow as a man, grow as a player, and everything." This is a player you guys are going to love. Let's dive into a little bit of his film as Auburn won this battle over Florida State and a couple of other big-time schools as well. Now, one of my favorite things about Hollis Davidson is the catch radius, the versatility of being a good run blocker, having a big frame, and being able to make a lot of big-time catches either out wide as a wide receiver or in line in a 12 personnel set, 11 personnel set to make play tight end, outside receiver with that big 6'5" frame. This is a guy who could do a lot of things very, very well. Now, on this first play, what we're going to see out of him is basically just a seam route. Going to get up the seam and go up and make a big-time play on the football, right? So let's watch how this play breaks down a little bit. Quarterback going to drop back in the pocket, going to make his first read to the left side of the field, but in reality, all the quarterback wants to do here is move this safety towards this side of the field, right? Because if you are this quarterback and you look right, this guy naturally is going to shift his weight or shift his body to that side of the field. But in reality, quarterback knows he wants his football to go to his big-time threat, tight end. So boom, notices that he can get the safety that way, is going to quickly turn his head and realize, okay, yeah, I want to go to my guy. He's got the one-on-one coverage over the seam. This is actually a really high IQ play by the quarterback. Shout out to him, by the way, because this is something you don't really see in college football, but more in the NFL, right? Being able to move the safeties over with your eyes, getting your main target wide open, right? So boom, throws the ball up there, maybe a little bit overthrown, a little bit too high for him, but maybe not. Dives up there or jumps up there, makes a beautiful catch, holds on as he coming down to the ground. A guy who can go up and make a bunch of different plays. Now again, we have another play here for Hollis Davidson, lined up in the slot, which is, you know, again, very fun to see this guy line up in so many different places. Again, quarterback wants to go to him right away. Pretty good route there. Shifts his head to the left to the inside of the field and then breaks outwards, creates some separation, and makes another dive and catch. I mean, this is a dude I absolutely love. And the versatility is something to me that jumps off the page whenever I turn on the film. Now, the most important thing about him is he is a very good run blocker. Obviously, when you're 6'5" in high school, you're going to be someone who can just body someone, right? And that's exactly what he does. Definitely the versatility, the dynamic that he brings to a football team is something you want to see. He's going to totally eliminate this DB from this play. They're going to try to get an end around here going for the slot receiver. Just watch how this dude blocks, man. Absolute just beast when it comes to all aspects of the game, right? Just gonna block the hell out of this guy, send him to the sideline, and totally just erase him from this play in general. You know, whenever you see a tight end be able to do that, and they also have another guy, Ryan G, I believe his name is. Dude, those guys are massive. They're going to be able to help out a ton. But overall, when you look at Hollis Davidson, you see a bunch. A lot of things jump off the page to me. not only as a run blocker, a pass blocker, a guy who can go up there and, make big time catches in big time ways. I love it. I really, really think this is a guy who can do everything, right? Very fluid with his routes, breaks a route like a wide receiver, which is something you don't see out of too many tight ends. Can make any catch, is a great catch radius, is good with the ball in his hands, can make guys miss, should be very tough for like safeties to match up against if they're too small. He's probably going to be, again, too fast for your traditional linebacker. So, guys, this is a guy who's going to be able to do a lot of things. I know he's just a 3-star, again, like Jacoby Ward. But, again, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being a 4-star by the end of his senior season. I'm excited. But let's get into what you guys have all been waiting for. Why these two commitments are going to help Juju Lewis come to the Auburn Tigers. Let's talk about it. Okay, so let's talk about it. Why would Juju Lewis now want to come to the Auburn Tigers rather than before? And I think as time goes on, we're really starting to see Hugh really target a couple of different positions, and it's really going to pay out in the end. Now, what is the most important thing in football? Protecting your quarterback. You need good offensive linemen to, make sure that your quarterback has enough time in the pocket to find his wide receivers, right? Now, when you look at this 2025 class, what is one thing they really, really are harping in on? The offensive line, right? You go down the list and you see Tavares Dice, a really good 4-star offensive tackle who will most likely in 2025 come in and be a nice little player for them. 2026 could even be the full-time starter, right? And then you go down the list even more. You see Broderick Show, who is listed as a 3-star on here, but I believe, again, this will be a 4, maybe even a 5-star player after his senior season. The dude is a different breed, 6'5", 275 pounds, very elusive, very quick for a tackle. This is a guy I love. So, again, you had 2 really good offensive linemen on the tackle position. So, again, where do we have to get better? The interior. So, what do? They go out, they get a guy like Ty Buster, who, yeah, maybe he's a 3-star, but again, they have a ton of confidence that he's going to continue to get bigger and better as time goes on. Jacoby Ward, another interior offensive lineman who we just talked about, is a monster, right? A really big time threat to plug up the middle. And then Spencer Dallin. This is 5 brand new offensive linemen for this 2025 class who will be coming in with Juju Lewis. And then you look at tight ends. Hollis Davidson. You also have another guy in Ryan G. Two guys who are 6'5", 230 pounds, big, physical, can catch, can run block and pass block, can do everything. So right away, you look at 7 guys that they've added. It's all trying to help block, right? All trying to provide for the quarterback, whether it be pass blocking, run blocking, or even catching the football. But most importantly, when you look at what this Auburn Tigers team looks like right now for 2025, you're going to have Cam Coleman, you're going to have not only Perry Thompson, but Malcolm Simmons and Bryce Kane. This is one of the best wide receiver classes of 2024, and they're all going to be here when Juju Lewis, or if Juju Lewis does commit to the Auburn Tigers. So not only do you have an insane offensive line that is going to develop and get better and better as time goes on, but you have one of the youngest, one of the best wide receiver classes coming out of high school from 2024. And then you have the 2 really good tight ends that you just brought over. They're really setting this up really well. And we haven't even talked about, a guy like Dre Carter, right? Favor Edwin, 2 guys they were super high on last offseason, ended up getting them to commit. Guys, I'm telling you right now, they are building the perfect team for Juju Lewis to commit to. And when you talk and when you hear from Juju Lewis, the thing that makes sense to him is finding a team that not only wants to, have him or give him playing time pretty much right away, but also he wants to be protected. He wants to have wide receivers to throw the ball to. And when you look at some of the other schools, yeah, maybe Colorado offers a day 1 starting job, right? But so can Auburn. Maybe USC has some decent receivers, but will they in 2025? I don't know. They do have Lincoln Riley, who is a QB breeder to the NFL. That's cool. But not only do we have a really good offensive line coming up, we have really good wide receivers, we have good tight ends. this is a really good fit for Juju Lewis. And I think they're really trying to convince him to come by getting all these guys here. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications. We'll be talking a lot more about the Auburn Tigers coming up soon. So I'll see you guys in the next Auburn update. Peace.